Okay, out of these smartphones, which is the best Android in 2024 so far? We have quite the lineup here. We have the Pixel 8 Pro from Google. We then have the OnePlus 12 from, well, OnePlus. And then we have the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Kicking things off first with the Google Pixel 8 Pro and this beautiful porcelain design. The overall build aesthetic with that signature visor camera array is stunning. The Pixel 8 Pro has a very bright display. The display actually snuck up on us this year because in all of the leaks there was no rumors or any leaks of a brighter display on the Pixel 8 Pro, so that was really nice to see here. Now I do have to note though, with that being said, I am not a fan of Tensor still. As you notice across my channel, I've mentioned this several times about the Pixel devices. I feel like Tensor's just holding Google back, and I really wish they just go back to Snapdragon. Now don't get me wrong, it's a buttery smooth device. You're going to get pretty good performance, but it does get warmer than other devices, and just in general, the overall performance isn't nearly on par with these other devices. The 8 Pro does have this weird temperature sensor, which is just kind of weird. I personally just haven't found a lot of use for that, and I'm very curious to see if that's even a feature Google carries on to other Pixels in the future. In terms of mobile photography, out of all of these devices, you are going to get the best camera experience out of this Pixel 8 Pro, just like any other Pixel, and that's no different here on the 8 Pro. One downside or con for the Pixel 8 Pro for me personally is battery performance as well as charging. So battery performance wise, especially if I'm not on Wi-Fi, I'm seeing anywhere from 3 to 4 hours tops of screen on time, which is absolutely deplorable in comparison to anything else in the market. And when I do need to top off, it just charges so much slower than every other device I have right now at my disposal. Now, in regards to the battery performance, I've seen a lot of people comment and I've seen a lot of threads about turning off this setting, changing this setting, or turning off 5G. Why would I do that for a device that's $799 to $1,000 when battery performance should just be a whole lot better on something like this for that kind of money? For me, it's been super frustrating getting about 3.5 hours of battery performance out of this Pixel 8 Pro. Even if I turn off some of the settings and change some of the settings, I found that I'm only getting maybe 5 hours of screen on time, which is super frustrating for a device that also charges relatively slow compared to the rest of the devices on the market right now. I do want to note here that I've had 4 Pixel 8 Pros and I've consistently had that same experience with battery performance across all 4 that I've owned. Me personally, I think it's Tensor just holding back Pixel, but anyways, I digress. I do have to note that Google did sneak one feature on us this year, and it was a much brighter display. This didn't come with the leaks, and the overall display is quite beautiful. We then have the OnePlus 12, the OnePlus successor to the OnePlus 11. As you can tell, looking at this device, it doesn't look much different from the OnePlus 11. It looks very similar, except for that alert slider has now moved to the left side of the device, which is actually quite nice to have, and you won't get an alert slider on any of these other devices in comparison. You also won't get an IR blaster like you do here on the OnePlus 12. This is just a really underrated feature, especially if you travel often. It's really nice to have that IR blaster. You won't get that on the Pixel 8 Pro or the S24 Ultra. And while OnePlus continues that stovetop camera array setup, the camera performance on the OnePlus 12 has been phenomenal in my usage. Packed with Snapdragon's latest chipset, the OnePlus 12 is an absolute powerhouse in terms of performance and just how smooth this device is in everyday usage. I have to say, this is easily one of the smoothest Android devices that I have right now at my disposal. Compared to the Pixel 8 Pro, for example, the Snapdragon chipset certainly outperforms, in my personal usage, the Pixel 8 Pro here on the OnePlus 12. Of course, you do have that same chipset on the S24 Ultra, but it's a little bit more optimized here by OnePlus. The display here on the OnePlus 12 is also very bright. It's going to be brighter than the Pixel 8 Pro, especially in direct sunlight. They're both very bright displays, but the OnePlus 12 has an even brighter display. It does have a curved display though. It is a slight curve. The curve is very similar to that of the OnePlus 11 if you've owned that as well, so you'll be very familiar with that overall curved display design, but it doesn't really hinder the usage. And in terms of just my everyday performance, I absolutely love this very, very bright, beautiful display. Do I wish that OnePlus would have maybe changed the design up a little bit this year? Absolutely. I think the design overall is a little bit stale, but it does work. It feels great in the hand. It is a little slippery, so I will note that, especially here on the silky black model. It is certainly silky, very slippery to the touch. Let me know your thoughts though on their overall design. Plugging in the OnePlus 12 is where it's an absolute game changer with the absolute insane charging speeds that you get here on the OnePlus 12. And you also have fast wireless charging using OnePlus's fast charger. Coupled with that, I also get insane battery performance here on the OnePlus 12. In terms of the overall battery performance with the massive battery that is packed here in the OnePlus 12, I'm seeing easily, and I mean easily, 1.5 to 2 days of battery performance out of the OnePlus 12. I've even had days where I've gone nearly 15 hours of screen on time, which absolutely blows away the Pixel 8 Pro in comparison. Now, in terms of updates and support compared to like the Pixel 8 Pro, on the Pixel 8 Pro, you're going to get the latest updates as they drop, whereas with the OnePlus devices, especially here in North America, where this market's just no longer prioritized like it used to be, you're not going to see updates as fast or as consistent right when they drop. You'll see those updates drop in other markets and then later show up here on the OnePlus 12. For something like device hardware support, you're going to have to reach out to OnePlus directly, which has been hit or miss for many consumers. It is a little bit frustrating. You can't walk into like a carrier store, for example, and get hardware support here on the device. Now on to our final contender here, the titanium black Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra in all its titanium glory. Looking all around this device, it's absolutely stellar. I really love using this device. The feel in hand, especially without a case, is just excellent. Of course, you do have that unique S Pen right on board with the S24 Ultra for when you need it. It's not something I use a ton, but it is really nice to have when I do need it for like signing documents, for example. It is a unique feature that you're not going to get on the other two devices. Samsung opted for this titanium build, and it is a flat display now here on the S24 Ultra. The feel in hand, as I noted, is so great. I absolutely love using this device. The feel in hand is very comfortable to use compared to some of these other devices I have here personally. Now, in terms of the cameras, you are going to get that familiar camera array setup that we have from the S23 Ultra, for example, and the camera performance has been pretty great overall, even with some of the subtle changes. The display here is insanely bright. I have to say, I actually prefer the S24 Ultra's display out of all of these three devices personally, even though the OnePlus 12 comes in a very, very close second. I just personally prefer the colors and just the overall performance of this display here on the S24 Ultra. Plus, I do prefer the flat displays over the curved displays. Again, not knocking the OnePlus 12 at all. I do still really appreciate the OnePlus 12 and all that it packs, but the S24 Ultra here in terms of design, build, and this display is just my preference. On the S24 Ultra, as well as on the Pixel 8 Pro, actually, you are going to get a lot of smart, intelligent AI features, and AI has really been the focus for Google and Samsung this year, and I think we're going to continue to see that trend for the next few years as AI is certainly ramping up. The OnePlus 12 does not have a lot of those features at this time, but you will get all of those on the S24 Ultra, as well as that Pixel 8 Pro. On the S24 Ultra, you're also going to get DeX, which really does come in hand when you do need a full kind of desktop experience. That flat display, though, I just can't get over that. The flat display here is just so nice, and again, very preferred for my preference in the hand. Just the overall usage has been great. And battery performance on the S24 Ultra has also been excellent. I see easily 8 to 10 hours of screen on time with the S24 Ultra, so it does last me an entire day. Sometimes it'll last me a day and a half. It just depends on my overall usage. Heavy use, though, I would say is closer to that 8 hours of screen on time, which is perfect for a device. Now, given the price point, it is a very expensive device out of the all of these devices here. This is a device that is nearly $1,300. Now, I do understand a lot of people get these on carriers, and they also get them with several trade-ins that Samsung carriers and other stores like Best Buy, for example, offer, but the price point MSRP is very high on this device in comparison to the other two phones. All of these phones, though, are buttery smooth. The fingerprint unlock is going to be very consistent across all of these, very smooth, no issues. Performance is buttery smooth. So out of all three of these devices, I have to say you can't go wrong with any of these devices. You're going to get great displays, you're going to get great build quality, you're going to get a really good experience just depending on your needs and your use cases for these devices. Again, they're all fast, fluid, as you can see here, and packed by very powerful chipsets. But of course, if I personally had to choose, I'm going OnePlus 12. OnePlus absolutely knocked this out of the park this year with the OnePlus 12. You're just getting so much value packed inside the box. And yeah, inside the box, you're also going to get that charging brick. You could just see the comparison here. It's kind of quite ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, the Pixel 8 Pro is a really solid device, and it's one of the best for mobile photography out of all of these devices here. But just like the Pixel Watch, I wish Google would go back to Snapdragon Snapdragon here on the Pixel phone. Overall, I think it would just be much better to see Snapdragon back on a Pixel. The S24 Ultra is an absolute powerhouse. You get so much out of this device, and it is easily one of my favorite devices still. I still keep putting my SIM back in the S24 Ultra. However, if you look on paper at $1,300 or more, this is a very expensive phone. And I know everybody gets them on trade-in or carrier installments, but it's still really expensive when the OnePlus 12 packs everything and then some for so much value for so much less. Having used all of these devices quite extensively the last few days, the OnePlus 12 is just my absolute go-to recommendation for anyone looking for the best Android smartphone right now in 2024. But of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on all three of these devices. Which one did you pick up? Which one are you using? Which one do you prefer? Let me know in those comments down below, and let's have that conversation. I'm really looking forward to it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and as always, thank you for watching. Take care and stay safe.